Hi soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. If this is your first time stopping by here, my name is Grace and I share sewing tutorials on this YouTube channel. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be making this bustier top with this asymmetric neckline that you can see on your screen, and it also has a long bell sleeve. So if this is something that you are interested in, make sure that you watch this video to the end and also check the channel for other helpful tutorials like this. So with no further ado, let's get into the video and start learning. This is the fabric that I'm going to be using to make this blouse, and these are the other things I would need to draft out this pattern. So I have my pattern paper here folded into two. That is very necessary, and I already placed my vertical lines on the pattern paper. So the first line over there is my shoulder line, then I have my bust points, this is my under bust, this is the waistline here, and this is the full length of the top, which is the top length also. So I'm going to go ahead and get my chest line. Mine is at 8 inches. I'll mark that, and I'll mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2 on my shoulder line, and I'll also mark that on the chest line area. Then I'll connect those two together, and I'm going to draw a straight line like this across to form my armhole line. So I'm just going to label that my chest line. Then I'll come down by 1 inch from the shoulder area and also measure the neck width. Mine is 3.5 inches, and I'll connect that with a slant to the armhole line. After that, I'm going to take what measurement I have left on this line and I'll mark the midpoint. Then I'll come in by half of an inch and also place my round bust measurement on my chest line, and I'll connect those 3 points to form my armhole cuff. So if you don't have a roller that is cuffed like this, you can also use your free hand to achieve this. So after I'm done doing that, I'm just going to mark my neck depth. I marked 3 inches for that. So that's just to be like a guide, because that's not the neck depth that we're going to end up using at the end of the day. So on my bust point, I'm going to place my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Mine is 4. I'll place it on the under bust, on the waistline, and also on the top length line. So those 4 points like that, I'm going to be connecting them with a straight line. And on each side of the under bust, I'm going to take my dart. So on the side that is going to the middle, I took 1 inch, and on the side that is going to the side like this, I took 1.5 inch. And I will do the same thing on the other lines too. So I'm doing it on my top length line too, and I will just connect that with a straight line on both sides. So after this, I'm going to be coming down from the bust point by half of an inch, and I'll connect from the under bust to meet that half of an inch on both sides. After that, I'm going to be connecting my princess dart. That is, I'm going to be connecting from the bust point to that midpoint of the armhole area with a curve. So make sure that this line is neither too curvy nor too straight when you are drawing it. After that, I'm going to be coming out from that straight line on both sides by half of an inch, and then I'm going to connect it down to the bust point again on both sides. So like I said, alternatively, if you don't have a curved rule like this, you can also make use of your straight line. Just make sure that you are getting it right the way I'm doing it like this. Then I'm going to measure what I have between these darts now, and I will extend the leg of this dart here with what I have. So I have 1 inch. I'm just extending the leg of this first dart here by 1 inch, and I'm going to connect that with a straight line. Then I'm going to come to the chest line here and also replace that 1 inch. Then I'll connect those points together to form a new armhole. So we are no longer using this former armhole area. Now I'm going to be placing my round bust measurement I have on the chest line. I'll place the same thing on the bust point. Then I'll go down to the waistline, place my waist measurement divided by 4 on the waistline. Then I'll replace what I have in between the dart here on the waist, which is 2.5 inches. I'm going to replace it on the waistline. I'll also do the same thing on the top length. I'll take my round hip measurement divided by 4. I'll mark that, and then I'll replace whatever I have on the inside the dart rather. Then I'm going to be connecting my points together to form the side of the blouse. So before we can be able to create the design that we have on that neckline, I'm going to be cutting out this pattern on the downside like this and also on the side. So just watch the way I'm going to cut this pattern. So I just cut it like this so that I will have it opened up and we can now work perfectly on this pattern. So I'm going to be extending my lines to the other side of this pattern. All the lines, I'm going to extend them, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing I have on one side on the other side too. So everything that we have on the first side, I'm going to replace everything on the other side like this. So I hope you understand this. So I'm doing the same thing that I have done on one side on the other side also. Everything exactly the same. I'm also going to be replacing the darts. Now, after you have successfully done that, the only side that we didn't place now is that princess dart area, and that's because the other side is different from this first side. Then I'm going to be marking a breakpoint at 7 inches. You can maintain your chest line if you want, but I'm just going up from the chest line a little bit by 1 inch, which mine is 7 inches, and I'll draw a straight line across like that. So this line is going to serve as a guide to where the neckline will stop. Then I'm going to be connecting like I wanted to connect a princess dart, but this time around I will not connect it all the way to that armhole area. I'm just going to connect it up to the red line that I just drew now. So do you get it? And I will now come to this area and measure what I have in between the darts on that red line, and I will now place it on both sides of the straight line I just drew now, on the curved line I just drew now rather, and I will connect it on both sides. This is just to make sure that what we have on this side is also what I have on that side of the dart. Now it's time to get the neckline done. So I'm going to be using my pencil first because this is a little bit tricky. So I'm going to be kind of marking in 1 inch away from this dart leg here. I'm going to be using my marker to mark it, so that's where the neckline is going to stop on that side. So I will use my pencil to kind of draw the shape that I want. So I had to bring the inspiration here and use my pencil to just go in all the way to that side. So I'm going to stop at that 1 inch that I just marked now, and on this other side of the neck I will also draw a like a curvy neck to go and meet that area. So this particular side, you just have to be creative with it, check the inspiration very well to be able to know what you are doing. Yeah, so I'm not an artist, so I just have to be very careful while doing this so that I don't mess it up. So I'm just taking away 1 inch from the shoulder area to make what I have more visible and wide, and I'll just connect to meet that 1 inch point over there, and also meet the other side of the shoulder like this. So as you can see, I made it bolder with my marker, and I think I'm satisfied with what I have now, and that's going to be the new neck area. So I'm using my marker to cancel out the places that are going to be cut away. So the red marker area are the places I'm going to cut away. So just watch as I'm going to cut this out. So I'm cutting the armhole area on one side first, then you are also going to be separating the darts. So when you are cutting this area, make sure that you are not cutting it all out, because you need the bodies to be together with the shoulder. I hope you understand this. Then I'm going to be cutting out the neck area like this, and also cut out the remaining darts areas on this side. So this is one side of the pattern, then I'll cut out the other side just the way it is like this also. Now the front pattern for the blouse is ready. As you can see, what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and notch the bust point of my pieces. So I'll do it for the center piece and also the side piece, and also the side pieces rather, so that I'll be able to locate the bust point when I'm joining it together. Now I'm going to work on the back pattern, and I've already drawn out my lines, my shoulder line, bust point, waistline, and the top length. Then I also added a zipper allowance of 1.5 inch. Then for the neck width, I'm going to be using 3.5 inches, just like I did in front, and I'll mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2 on the shoulder line, come down to 8 inches, which is my chest line, and connect those 2 points together, and also connect to the end of the pattern paper and label it my chest line. Then from this straight line, I'll come down by 1 inch and I'll connect my shoulder slants to the neckline like that. I'm also going to be taking my round bust measurement divided by 4, place it on the chest line like this, and I'm just going to use my free hand to form an armhole. Now I'm going to be determining how deep I want my back neckline to be. So I'm going to be using 8 inches for how deep I want it to be. I'm going to be making it like a V neck. So I'll just go ahead and connect it like a V to the neckline there. Then I'm going to connect to the zipper area, and I'm also going to create my dart using my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 on the bust point, the waistline, and also the top length, and I'll connect the 3 points together. And on the waistline, I will come out from that line by half an inch on both sides. Then I'm going to connect directly to this bust point line here like this, and I'll also come up from the top length line a little bit by 1 inch, and I'll connect my dart to that 1 inch from the waistline also. So I've created the dart line for the back. Then I'm going to be placing my round bust measurement on my bust point, my round waist measurement on the waistline, and I'll replace what I have in between the darts. And also on the top length line, I'm going to just place my round hip measurement. Then I'll connect those 3 points together to form the side of this pattern. Then after that, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this pattern out all the way. So I'm just marking the sides that are not needed, and I'll go ahead and cut this out. So though I'm not going to be slashing the that area open on this pattern, I'm just going to be taking in the darts directly when I'm working on the main fabric. So the last thing that I'm going to be doing on this back pattern is to eliminate the zipper bulge, and I'm going to come in on that waistline. I'll come in from the zipper allowance area by half an inch. Then I'll connect that with a slant to the top and also with a slant to the down part, and I'll cut out that area that I just slanted out now. So that's basically all for the pattern drafting of this blouse. In the next video, I'm going to be sharing the tutorial of how I joined these pieces together. So stay tuned to the channel, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Don't also forget to turn on your notification bell so that you get notified when I drop the remaining part of the tutorial and also other helpful tutorials like this. So bye for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next tutorial.